In a previous video, I showed you how you can use event destinations to forward your Stripe events over to serverless functions running in Microsoft Azure where they can be processed. Now, in that scenario, the cloud will handle any irregularities in traffic by automatically scaling your functions up or down as necessary. Now, if you're hosting your applications in Kubernetes, you can achieve similar scaling results by using an autoscaler like KEDA. Now, what KEDA does is adjust the number of pods you have available for processing events based on a given set of conditions that you can configure. Why don't we take a look and see how this works? KEDA is an open source project and it stands for Kubernetes Event-Driven Autoscaler. On a high level, the way it works is by deploying resources into your Kubernetes cluster called scalers. Now, scalers are able to monitor the metrics of different types of servers like databases or message brokers. And when a given condition is met, it's able to adjust your deployments by either increasing or decreasing the number of pods you have available to handle your workloads. As you can see here on the page, it has support for tons of different servers like ActiveMQ, Azure Event Bus, Azure Pipelines, Dynatrace. There's tons of support for Google Platform, IBM, tons of different things that you could use. An example use case would be, imagine you have an ActiveMQ broker setup. One of the things KEDA can do is listen to the queues inside of that broker, and if there are a certain amount of messages in the queue, it can increase the number of pods in the deployment that are processing those messages and preventing too many messages from getting backed up inside of the broker. Now that we understand that, let's take a quick look at a diagram so we can see what our demo looks like. Inside of our Stripe account, we'll use event destinations to configure an endpoint to forward our events to. In this case, that endpoint will be a route configured using an ingress controller inside of the Kubernetes cluster. The ingress will forward on the traffic over to a web server, which will then take that event and queue it up inside of a queue inside of the RabbitMQ server. On the other side, we'll have a processor pod whose sole job is to listen for messages that get published into that queue inside of RabbitMQ, pull those messages out, and start to process them. Now, where KEDA comes into play is once we configure and deploy a RabbitMQ scaler, it can then listen for metrics coming from that RabbitMQ server, such as the number of messages that get published into a particular queue. Then, once that queue hits a certain threshold for number of messages, KEDA will then use the deployment resource that created the processor pod and instruct it to scale out the number of instances to be able to process all of the incoming work. And after the amount of messages in the RabbitMQ server start to be reduced, KEDA can also look at that deployment to reduce the amount of processor pods that were allocated to handle that workload. And now we have a situation where the worker pods inside of the cluster can be dynamically increased and decreased without manual intervention. Now let's see what this actually looks like. Like all other Kubernetes resources, KEDA scalers are deployed using YAML files. The one that we're looking at right now is specifically set up to target RabbitMQ. On lines 7 through 9, we set the target deployment that's responsible for our processor pods. This is so that the scaler will know which one of the deployments to interact with when it's time to adjust the amount of pods that are available. In line 10 through 12, we set up the polling interval and also the minimum and maximum replica count. So as you can see here, we can have a minimum of 1 pod processing those events and a maximum of 20 pods processing those events. In the trigger section, we let KEDA know that this scaler is going to be triggered by RabbitMQ, and we give it the address of a queue that exists inside of our cluster. On line 19 and 20, we set the trigger mode to queue length with a value of 10. So anytime there's more than 10 messages inside of that queue, KEDA will know that it needs to adjust the amount of pods that are available to process this work. Now we'll head over to the command line to actually see this in action. For this demo, I've set up a local Kubernetes cluster on my machine, and I've already deployed and installed all of the resources that we're going to need to use. On the top left of the screen, I'm going to go ahead and just query for the pods that are running. And using kget pods, you can see all the pods that are currently running in the default namespace in this cluster. If I clear that, I can also go even a little further, and I can grep for the processor pods, and you'll see I only have 1 processor pod currently running. Okay, let's clear that. And if I move to the bottom left side of the screen, what I'm going to do is run the stripe listen command. Because I'm running my cluster locally, I want to forward all the events triggered in my Stripe account to the ingress controller running locally in my Kubernetes cluster. Now we're going to move over to the right side of the screen. And what I'm going to do here is run a script that I created just to load events into the Kubernetes cluster. As you can see, it's going to go through about 10 different iterations and it's going to start sending events over to that cluster. If you take a look back at the left side of the screen, And you can see like the different events are getting sent over to the Stripe CLI and they're being returned successfully. Now, if I do get pods again, you might notice I have more than one processor running. Let's do what we did before and do get pods, and let's just grep for the processors. Now I have 3 additional pods that were spun up because KEDA saw all of the load that was being sent to RabbitMQ and decided we needed to spin up more instances of those pods to process those messages. And it did that based on that scaler resource that we deployed earlier. And now if you just give it a few minutes and run get pods again, you'll notice the amount of processor pods available will start to be reduced. So if I run get pods again, and let's go ahead and just filter out the processor pods, you can see that I only have 1 left. So all those extra pods that were spun up to handle those messages have now been deallocated. I hope you enjoyed that video because I definitely enjoyed putting together that demo for you. Now, if you're deploying applications to Kubernetes and you're building a Stripe integration, I definitely recommend you take a look at the KEDA project if you're looking for a way to dynamically scale your workloads inside of your Kubernetes cluster. And if you're interested in learning more about working with Stripe or working with events, definitely check out our blog at stripe.dev. And of course, make sure you check out some of the other videos available here on the Stripe Developers YouTube channel.